between the RIVAGE PM5 and the racks of analog gear, this is possibly the most complex front of house system I've seen. Talk a little bit about how you make everything work together and how you manage it in the desk and just your overall concept.
It's actually kind of simple. There's really 4 cables that even interface this. So I'm using Wave Sound Grid to a Symphony to kick my groups out into a summing mixer. And then all the analog gear here is inserted in the summing mixer. That left and right goes into the mastering gear, and I return that back into the console. So if there's ever an issue with this architecture here, I can just kick out the insert on the master bus, and then I'm back in the box. And I can also compare, is it better, is it not better? You know, it's really cool.
And then on stage, what are you using for mic pre's?
Mic pre's, we're using, it's a really good story. So we're using Yamaha AD8HRs and Rupert Neve preamps. So it's a combination of both. We kind of listened to what we like on what, and came up with a plan and implemented it.
And what are you using the Yamaha stuff for?
The Yamaha stuff is on kick, snare, toms, bass, and guitar. And then for vocals, cymbals, things like that, the Neves.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then those are all part of the twin lane architecture?
Yes. Well, yeah, it's Dante in from the Neve, and then I use the AES on the stage rack to get to the Yamaha preamps because they're AES out.
Oh, that's great. And the other interesting thing, I know you keep the band group and the vocal group separate.
I process that separate, so I treat it like mastering. I just realized with Justin years ago, I started thinking about, okay, I put a great sounding CD in a PA, time it properly, turn it on, it sounds amazing. Well, why doesn't my stuff sound that good? Well, 2 things, right? I'm not mixing well enough, and B, I'm not mastering. It's not mastered. So that started the growth of the mastering gear and snapshots. So if you really listen to a song, maybe you're EQing 400 or 500 out of a PA. It's because the background and the verse has got a honky thing to it. So now I build it like a record. So intro, verse, chorus, bridge, etc. So if there's any issues sonically in there, I can go to that snapshot and clean it up. So it's a lot of work, but once you incorporate that, then you don't really have to EQ a system besides to the room.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it introduces less phase. It just sounds better.
Yeah, man, that makes total sense.
But
like
it's a lot more work. But
you put a CD in and you listen to it, and it's like you're never listening to an unmastered album. You're listening to a mastered album.
Yeah.
So why not give a mastered mix?
Exactly. So I applied it live, and I was lucky enough to be able to do that over time and build all this analog gear. It takes time, you know, and it evolves too.
And as far as scenes go, like your Shinedown show, how many scenes do you have?
Well, I mean, we're not playing all the songs at once, but in this I have almost 400. So like in a song like Dysfunctional You, there is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5, that's probably the smallest one. America Burning is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, you know, it depends on the song. Some are 14, 16, some are... Wow. But I'm surprised there's only 5 in that song. That's great.
And you're not having to
No, I
recall
time
those.
code it. So it's run off time code. So what I do is I record the time code. So when I'm in my environment, I just hit play. I kick it out of local into the engine, and that way I can change snapshots. I can, you know, build my show basically.
And I think one thing that's interesting about the way you mix, because I talk to tons of engineers, and there's usually 2 trains of thought. There's either I'm a hands-on mixer, I maybe have a scene for each song, but it's really a manual mix, or there's the guy that's super program oriented and they program all this stuff, but they're not doing a lot of hands-on stuff. But you're doing both. I mean, you're hands-on all the time, and you're mixing, but you have stuff being recalled in the background too.
Well, yeah, you want to dynamically enhance what you're doing as part of what we do, and we grew up doing that. Was a big deal, right? You were the guy. You made it happen, right? And now there's so many other factors. There's some tours have a really high track count, some don't. There's a lot you have to manage as well, and most tours now, your vocalist is out on a thrust, So that is a job in itself. So to be able to making all these changes with track and band and highlighting this cymbal crash here or this snare hit there and be able to manage that, because you got to focus on that one guy, right? So that is a really difficult task. So this really simplifies the whole thing. Plus I can mix around it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And talk a bit about what you've got. I mean, you've got several monitors going. I mean, what are you using? And you've got a time code
Okay,
reader
that's
there.
just a time code reader, so I can see it when I'm programming. It's a lot easier. And also the auto capture function. So when I start a tour, I'll build a basic snapshot, period, and get everything sitting as good as I can. And then I'll build duplicates. And then all I have to do as the song's running, hit auto capture and hit next. And then it captures that time code as well, so you can program it really quickly. And it's really handy if you start a tour and you get thrown into it and there's a lot of songs and you're not that familiar with it. You're doing the best you can to cram, listen, understand the songs, learn them. It might be a genre you're not familiar with too, but you're put in that position. So it's nice to be able to quickly do that so that it fires for you. So you know where you are. Oh, that's that song. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it really puts you in a position to win. So.
And then you've got a DAW over here.
I have a DAW right there. So as far as the way I control this is I have my keyboard and mice right here. So there's one for left screen, one for right screen, and switchers. So the first one, computer, handles sound grid for my symphony. The second computer is the VST rack, which we'll talk about. Third one is just a sentimental old 2012 Mac for playback, just for iTunes, stuff like that. And the fourth one is the DAW. And then over here is just system control. I can do smart, or I can look at my system drive right there. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that way my system engineer, like if I'm hearing something and I want to modify something, maybe just move time or notch something, I don't have to find him or say, hey, come here while I'm trying to mix, he'll watch me because we'll link it up and I'll just make a little notch and get a nod or no, don't do that, either way. But yeah, so it makes it where everything's centralized right here where I can function and work.
Fantastic.